After unpacking the mini sheeting battery, install the machine on a platform. Check the rollers to ensure that no foreign particles like stones or pieces of wood are lodged on them. A handle is provided along with the machine. This handle is fixed below the motor. Use this handle to rotate the worm shaft, that in turn rotates the rollers to check that the machine is working freely. If a squeaking sound is detected, it indicates that the aluminum feed trays between rollers are coming in contact with the rollers. The gap between the feed tray assembly and the corresponding rollers will have to be adjusted. Identify the set of rollers which is the source of this sound. Using the mechanism that has been provided to set the gap between the roller and the feed tray, adjust the gap by using the bolt as is being demonstrated in the video. It should be so set that the gap between the feed tray and the roller is bare minimum. If the gap is too high, the coagulum will tend to wrap itself around the corresponding roller. Using the handle, rotate the worm gear shaft and ensure that the squeaking sound has been eliminated. Set all the wiper blades in a manner in which they do not touch the rollers. A gap of 0.5 mm between the rollers and wiper blades would be ideal. Lubricate the thrust bearings with lubricating oil. Apply grease on the worm gear train and spur gears on both sides of the mini battery. Connect the starter to an electrical power source. Run the mini battery and ensure that the squeaking sound is not produced when the machine is working. Sandpaper all the rollers with 120 grit water emery to remove traces of rust or oil. Take special care to avoid injury to the hands and fingers of the operator. The gap between each set of rollers has to be adjusted depending upon the dry weight of the rubber sheets that are proposed to be produced. We recommend these settings for sheets of 500 to 550 grams dry weight. The mini battery is designed to process rubber sheets of dry weight up to 750 grams. Gap between the first set of plain rollers 5 mm. Gap between the second set of plain rollers 3 mm. Gap between the third set of plain rollers 2 mm. And gap between the groove rollers just 0.3 mm. These are general recommendations. The ideal setting for the rubber grower will have to be varied on a trial and error basis. This is because the standard procedure is not followed by most rubber growers for processing latex. The DRC of the latex varies from estate to estate. We also find that the concentration and quantity of coagulant used, as well as the interval between the coagulation process and sheeting, vary from estate to estate. Set the gaps as per recommendations for 500 to 550 grams dry weight sheets. This is done using a feeler gauge and a vernier caliper. The required number of individual gauges are stacked together and measured using the vernier to achieve the required dimension. The lock nuts below both the hand wheels are loosened and the hand wheel rotated to either raise or lower the roller as the case may be. It is recommended that the rollers are washed with clean water to remove any contamination and to make the movement of the coagulant from one roller to the other smooth. If the coagulant does not move forward smoothly, increase the gap of the first set of rollers in steps of 0.5 mm until smooth movement is achieved. Repeat this procedure for each set of rollers so that the coagulant passes from one roller to the other easily. An operator takes a few days to perfect the art of ideally setting the roller gaps. Once the perfect setting is reached, there is no reason why the gaps have to be adjusted again if the weight of the dry sheet remains the same. We hope these set of broad instructions lead to happy sheeting of rubber sheets. Thank you.